Good morning and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. Thanks for joining us this morning. I am joined in the studio with our producer, Nick Steffens. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I slept like a log last night, and I woke up feeling refreshed for the first time in who knows how long.
Awesome. That's a good feeling. Yeah, I slept good last night too. My alarm went off this morning at 5 to go play pickleball, and I was like, do I really want to go play pickleball today, or do I just want to keep sleeping? But I went. It was fun. Had a good time. So, have you played pickleball yet?
Yes and no. I mean, it was something we did in PE in middle school and high school.
Yeah, you're young
enough. And I played a few times at the rec center in college, but I'm not a big pickleballer. Pickler?
Yeah. Big dill.
Big dill. Not a big dill person, so.
All right. Well, maybe I think we need to have a pickleball show here sooner or later.
I have thought about it, of Washington Live hosting our own events instead of waiting for events to happen, doing a pickleball tournament and live streaming it with commentators or cornhole or bags, depending on, I don't know which one's right.
That'd be hilarious.
So I think we could pull it off, like an ESPN The Ocho, where it's like the obscure sports.
Yeah.
And then we do a full broadcast.
Maybe we should just start with having a show about the pickleball rules and where you can play pickleball out in Washington.
Well, I heard it gets pretty intense out at the YMCA, so we could have people on, get like a UFC match where there's trash talking beforehand.
There you go. Lots of options. All right. We will jump into the weather. 70 degrees and windy, red flag warning outside. So looked up what that meant, and a chance of fire.
Same. I had to look it up as well.
Yeah.
I feel like there's already been fires, so that's kind of concerning. Is there going to be more?
I think just people are lighting their brush on fire, and today would not be a good idea to do that.
Yeah, or controlled burns. That seem to always get out of control.
It's also kind of too windy to play pickleball outside.
That's true. A plastic ball would probably get thrown around. Starts
flying. All right. Let's see here. For local events, the legislative briefing is this Friday, the Washington County Hospital and Clinics from 11:30 to 2. Hear updates and engage in conversations with our Washington County area legislators, and there is free lunch. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out. There's the Roots and Boots tour featuring Aaron Tippin, Colin Ray, and Sammy Kershaw, performing 90s country at the Riverside Casino, also on April 14th from 8 to 10 p.m. Sounds like a good time. Mm-hmm. Do you like 90s country?
Yes. I'm a big Alan Jackson guy, I feel like.
Yeah. Nice. All right. And the police report for today. We have 13 traffic calls, 7 fire calls, 7 animal complaints, 4 calls for suspicious activity, 4 fraud calls, and 3 hang-up 911 calls, and then several double and single calls for a total of 57 calls. We have a few highlights, or lowlights as Nick would call them. Public service contacts call here in Washington requests an officer to the police department for a golf cart inspection. 107 responded. Another one?
Yeah, that's another one. And if someone has information on what you're supposed to do, what are those inspections? Why? Do you know, Darren? Can you tell us?
I can, yeah. So the golf cart inspections are, it's now legal to drive a golf cart on the streets.
Okay.
And so they have to have a golf cart inspection to make sure that that's a street legal. It's kind of like when somebody built a homemade trailer, they have to get that inspected because it has all to be on the highways and so on and so forth.
So it's if you're taking it on the road. Right, okay. Right. I was thinking just to take it out to the golf course and get it inspected.
No.
So then once it gets approved for the road, is there a sticker they slap on it so people know, or it's just
I don't know that. I just know that in the nation as a whole, the golf carts and the side-by-side RTVs are becoming popular to see more and more on the roadways.
Huh. All right.
Just don't take it on the highway.
All right. So we might be seeing more golf carts in the police log.
Yes.
All right. That wasn't as exciting as what I had hoped, but thanks for the clarification. Driving complaint in Washington reports a white Chevy Impala or Malibu is driving from side to side and has been off the road. Vehicle almost hit a truck head on. Mid-90s model, city units responded. 109 located the vehicle at the McCready Medical Clinic. Spoke to the driver who was running late for an appointment. Subject was counseled.
I think, I don't know what the stat is, but I think it's like speeding only saves you 3 minutes in total.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to like get injured.
I always see that, like when we went to Dallas a couple weekends ago. It's like, you see your estimated time of arrival over this like 12-hour trip, and like you can drive 75 miles an hour on the Kansas Turnpike or whatever. And yeah, same thing. It's like you go 80 and it's like you cut off 2 minutes or, 5 minutes
or
or
the people
whatever.
that like speed around you to get to their exit 2 seconds faster. It's like you couldn't have just stayed behind me and slowed down to 65.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed the detail on that. The detail. I always enjoy the detail that people give when they call in. So thank you for that. We had a suspicious activity call in Kelowna. Caller reports a male subject hanging around the park recently, trying to entice kids with free Pokemon cards. 9211 responded, but was unable to locate the subject.
So one, if you have kids, be careful. Two, it's like the textbook child predator move.
Yeah. Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Like the only more stereotypical would be like candy.
Yeah. All right. Well, glad that got called in and was reported. We have a call in Kelowna, another call in Kelowna. Public service contacts. Deputy reports being out with a subject who flagged them down. 9213 spoke to the subject. No issues.
Just wanted to talk, I guess.
Yeah.
Flagged them down. No problems. Just wanted to say hi.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. All right. A few calls from Iowa City. Reporting party is chatting with someone online that wants to give him $20,000.
Sounds legit. He should take it.
Sounds suspicious. Surprised it's not like a crypto or something.
Yeah.
Mail is coming unglued. Says she is not his mom.
That one was very confusing. Also,
Yeah.
the use of unglue, I think, is a first for a police report.
Yeah. So he's coming unglued because his mom isn't who she said she was? Is that what we think happened?
I think so.
Okay. Not for sure.
I hope the person gets help, but just unglued is quite an interesting.
Yeah. I'm still
choice.
kind of perplexed sometimes why they call the police in Iowa City for some of these things.
Yeah.
All right. The last one. Cars parked illegally on the street. 2 beds set up in backyard. 40 to 50 people wearing weird gowns. Sounds like a party.
It is. Yeah, it's a party. A weird one at that. But it is Iowa City.
Yeah, the cars were parked illegally. They had 2 beds set up in the backyard. 40 to 50 people wearing weird gowns.
Don't know what the theme was.
Or what the punishment is for that that type of activity.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they call in the illegal parking and then just decided, oh, I also need to put in this detail that there's 40 to 50 people wearing dresses and there's beds in the
I wish I
backyard?
had more information on this now. I would like to know more. So.
That's illegal for some reason. I don't know.
All right. That's all we have for the police report. When we come back, we're going to talk to our guest, Darren Brown, here with the Master's Hand Thrift Store here in Washington. We'll learn more about what they have to offer, how long they've been in the community, and more. So stay tuned.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Hey, Andrea. What do you call a beehive with no exit?
What?
Unbelievable.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich, and I'm joined in the studio with Darren Brown with Masters Hand Thrift Store in Washington. How are you this morning, Darren?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Yeah, I guess I'm becoming an old man slowly but surely. I'm on the top side of 50, and I have a wife and 5 children, 3 that live with me here in Wayland, Iowa. And we love the Lord Jesus Christ with everything that we have. I'm also the pastor of Grace Community Church here in Washington, and I help run the homeless shelter. I'm the director of Tribulation and Trust Ministries. Tribulation and Trust Ministries is the ministry that is the umbrella that everything works underneath, as far as the homeless shelter and the Master's Hand Thrift Store and the food pantry all work together as far as what we do here for the community. And I've been at that for 3 years now, and it's going really, really good.
Awesome, very good. Well, I've heard you speak before. You have a really cool story, and happy to have you here and share more about the Master's Hand Thrift Store and spread all the kinds of good things that are going on there. So I know that the Master's Hand Thrift Store started in downtown Washington, and now it's located out by the bus barn, the mini bus barn. Can you tell us, how it got started, kind of the mission behind the Master's Hand Thrift Store?
Yeah, so when we opened the homeless shelter back in 2019, it took us about, when we were opening it, we had an idea of what our budgets were going to be. We weren't sure exactly how many homeless people we had in Washington, how that was all going to work. We didn't know what the demand was going to be. And so we opened it up, and I kind of figured that I was going to be doing a lot of the work there, and maybe 1 or 2 people would be helping me, and would be a low budget operation, and things would just work in that manner. But as things progressed into 2020, we realized that there was a need for a bigger crew, and it was going to take more money, and that there was no way we could depend on Washington County for that kind of donation support. There was just depending upon donations coming in was probably not going to be able to keep the doors open. And so in praying about it, we decided that it needed to be, the board decided we needed to do something, and I felt the answer was a thrift store. There's one down in Mount Pleasant that operates kind of in the same manner. And so I went down and talked to them and discussed the situation with them. And then we kind of ran with their model. It was working for them, so why change it too much? And so we started in a little storefront down here on Main Street, and right across from the Corner Creamery. And it was doing okay, but it just wasn't able to, it wasn't big enough to we weren't able to move the product through it that needed to be moved through it to create the income that we needed to create. It was doing okay, but it just wasn't what it needed to be. And I was struggling trying to balance the budget and how are we going to do it. And we had a lot of material. The donations were coming in like crazy, but we couldn't move them fast enough. And so then we were storing them and trying to figure out what happened and what to do with it. And then COVID, of course, we were dealing with COVID at that time. So then people were closing the doors, shutting down, and we did too for a while. And as that started coming back out of it, the town was kind of slow on moving, and it was yard sale season, and nobody was having any yard sales. And I decided, let's have a big yard sale. And so we set it up out north of town on 12th Avenue at that big place. And we had this huge yard sale, and it brought in $4,000 over the weekend. And we were just like, maybe we're on to something here. Maybe there's something that could be done. So we did it the next weekend and was just as successful the next weekend. And I started thinking, okay, this could be a lot bigger. And so now we had to find a location. We ended up getting a location at the fairgrounds, and the fairgrounds had that big building. They weren't having a fair that year. And so they rented us that building, and we rented it for the year, and we used that building, and it just kept bringing in every weekend. We would have it open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it just kept bringing in the revenue that we needed. And so we realized then that we had to do something different. Well, then the next fair was coming up. They were having a fair that year, so then we had to relocate. We're looking for a building, and we ended up out on 12th again with SJM Trucking, which I still use. I still rent part of their warehouse for storage. And then as that took us into 2021, and then we started looking and shopping for a building, and that's when this building came up for sale, where we were at. And I wasn't sure we were even going to get it. There was a process that we went through there, but we ended up with that building. In that, what happens is we knew we needed this income, and the income came about. It started there. So basically, where we're at today, it's been a slow progress coming through. But basically, last year we brought in $287,000 to be able for that funding to be able to support the homeless shelter. And it wasn't 100% of the budget. It was like 63. I want to say 63 or 64% of the actual budget that we spent that year. But it was also the same year that we bought the building that we did. We're still paying on it, but we had paid a huge $150,000 of that was in that of buying that building. So that was incredible for us. And we're on track for the same thing again this year. It just keeps happening. There's no shortage of stuff coming in. We have plenty. The ticket now is to become more efficient and make it more efficient and help it to be able to continue to improve.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm glad to hear you guys are having success and people are finding you out there. How do they, find you? It's not, it's on a main road, but it's not downtown. So how do people hear about you, or do you have repeat customers? What's kind of been your success to get people in the door?
We do. And then we just do word of mouth advertising. Haven't done a whole lot of, I don't spend a whole lot of money on advertising. Haven't. Word of mouth, I've always felt, is the best advertising. And so when we moved from the 12th Avenue location to the 5th Street location where we're at now, 980 West 5th Street, we just let our customers know we're making this move, and this is what's going to happen. And they followed us, but some of them, it took them a while to find us. They were like, man, I couldn't find you. I didn't know where you went, so on and so forth. But yes, we do have a following. We have people that come every week. Some people come 2-3 times a week. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people that are in there every day. It's just that it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of nostalgia in it because we put all kinds of things on the shelf. And so some people I think they just come there for the entertainment. They could spend 2 hours in that store and just have all kind of fun looking at things. I've seen people playing dress up and taking pictures and screenshots and just different things, and they have fun in there. And we try to keep that atmosphere.
Very good. It's a huge building out there. So is some of it warehouse and some of it store, or is it mostly store? I have not been to that location. I visited you guys when you were at the fairgrounds, but I've not been out there yet. So,
so we have 22,000 square feet there.
Okay.
In the two buildings. And where the two buildings kind of come together, there's 12,000 square feet that's underneath the store that would be considered sales floor. And then the rest of it, the other 10,000 square feet, I have 5,000 on one end approximately and 5,000 on the other end. So on the south end, that'd be where we sort everything.
Okay.
That's where we do check everything, go test everything, sort the clothes, sort all the bric-a-brac and all the shelf items and the shoes and the purses and lamps and pictures and all of that, DVDs, books, movies, everything. It all gets sorted right there and priced typically, and then it goes out on the floor. We also have a recycle area where anything that's not sales worthy, if it's got any kind of metal or computer boards or anything like that in it, electrical cords, we cut those off, we break them down, we break it down to its level, and then we recycle all that stuff.
Okay.
And then we have everything that doesn't sell on the floor gets shipped to other countries, so on and so forth, so that we can get money per pound out of that type of stuff as well. So what happens is we have a color system, there's colored tape put on everything, and that rotates. That color rotates every week. One color comes on, one color comes off, and a color goes to 50%. The 50% color is coming off the next week, basically. Okay. So it's our last ditch effort to get rid of it. If it doesn't get rid of, then it goes to what we call bric-a-brac. So it'll come back to the back, it comes off of the shelf, and we sort it, and we'll put it in big Gaylords, which are big shipping boxes. When I get those full and I get enough of them, then I sell a semi-load of it to a buyer. And like a bric-a-brac is banana boxes. We get our banana boxes from Hy-Vee and from Walmart. They've been really, really awesome about working with us, and they save the banana boxes for us. And we pack those banana boxes as tight as we can get it, and this is where a volunteer comes in really handy. They pack that banana box real tight, and I try to keep them at 25 pounds. There's 30 of those on a pallet. And then when I get a semi-load, I got 40 pallets, then I ship a container. That container will bring us about $6,000, somewhere in there, and that it adds up. And so then the other stuff, clothing, when it comes off of the shelf, the clothing goes to bales, and then I bale that in these big bales like you do cardboard, and then that gets shipped to other countries as well. And that would them loads usually bring us in around $8,000 to $10,000.
Wow, that's great. So that's great that you have all of this inventory that you can cycle through, and you can continually offer people new things to choose from. And then, if things aren't selling, then you can make money and help other countries. And
it's trying to turn everything we can do to turn it into a penny, turn it into whatever, and then the pennies add up, and you just keep working at it. And if you have the volunteers, that helps, because if I have to pay staff to do it, then it doesn't quite balance out as much, and that's why a lot of that stuff doesn't happen in the world today, because it's not cost effective to pay somebody to do it.
Right.
But we have a lot of clients, and as the clients are coming through the shelter, they work at the store, and I help teach them job skills, teach them what work environment is about, and show them that they do have the ability to do certain things, and because they can do some things that one person's job may just be tearing stuff apart. But, if that's what they can do, then that's what they do, and we'll tear it apart. Another person's job might be identifying what's copper, what's aluminum, what's brass, so on and so forth, all that type of stuff. Another person, they might just be going through clothes looking for cuts or tears or missing buttons or zippers and things like that. And you just everybody gets a spot and everybody gets to work, and try to help teach work ethic and stuff, so that when we move forward in that, they're getting some kind of a skill. And then we also work with Optime and some of the others. They bring people in to help them and job coach them, and use our location to do that. Great.
So how many employees do you have, and how many volunteers do you have?
Between the shelter and the store, we have 13 employees. And then overall, I would say right now our volunteer list has got to be close to 50 people on the volunteer list. And I consider it small. I think we have a propensity for that to grow as the community comes to understand what we're doing and how it's going about and where they can fit in. I think that'll be better. One of the things that I have struggled with is talking about it to people. I'm typically what a nonprofit would do, a Christ-based nonprofit, is we would go to churches on Sunday mornings and speak. Mm-hmm. But because I'm the pastor of a church, I don't get to go to other churches and speak. And Grace Community Church has been really awesome. And when they hired me as a pastor, they pay my paycheck. Tribulation and Trust Ministries doesn't pay me. Everything that I do for Tribulation and Trust Ministries is done just non grata. I mean, it's free. I just do it. So I'm a volunteer, is what you would call me. Grace Community Church pays my salary, and it's been really good that way.
Yeah, good. So if people do want to get involved and volunteer or donate items or come buy stuff, how do people get involved?
Okay, so if you want to buy stuff, you just show up at the store Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6.
Okay.
And you can buy stuff.
Okay.
And you buy as much as you want. And the more you buy, the better deal I'll give you. And if you want to volunteer, it's kind of the same thing. You can come a little earlier. You can come at 8:30 in the morning, and you can stay till 6:30 at night if you'd like. Or if you want to just do an hour, you can do an hour. If you want to do 2 hours, you can do 2 hours. If you just show up, I don't care. You don't have to give me warning. You just show up and find out who's in charge that day and say, hey, I'm here to volunteer, and we'll find a spot to plug you in. You could do a lot of different things. You could sort stuff. If you want to just do shoes, I've got all kinds of shoes. If you like shoes and you love to dig through shoes, I've got the perfect job for you. And it may be the other way around. You might like clothes, or you might like purses and belts or blankets or whatever. I can put you in a department. Man, if I had a volunteer for every department and I just said, this is your department, you keep it organized, I'd be a blessed man. There's just all kinds of ways to do it. If you don't like people and you don't want to work in that environment, I'll put you in the other warehouse, and you could bale cardboard, you could bale clothes, you could sort through boxes and stuff, and send the good to the store and the bad elsewhere. We just, however you need it, we can make it work.
All right. How old do you have to be to volunteer?
I typically like them over the age of 12. And if you're under the age of 16, I would say come with a parent. But I have taken them 15 and 14 when they're mature, and they seem to be mature, and they seem to be doing okay.
Yeah.
And I love to help kids with silver cord hours. Sometimes we help kids in the probation department that are trying to work off community service. We'll work with all those situations, however we can help. I believe volunteering is something that's getting lost in our society today, and it's really the strength of the community. If people volunteer, you just don't understand how much you're strengthening your community by volunteering.
Yeah, I agree. And then if people want to donate items, how do they donate things?
Bring them out there. Bring it donations. You just bring them out there. I don't have any signs up for that. That's probably the one thing that irritates people more is I don't have a lot of signage up for this yet because I haven't developed this system completely. But if you bring up donations, donations usually go in the first garage door there as you come in the parking lot. But you can come inside the store, let somebody know, we'll help you unload, we'll do whatever. Right now, you can back up to that door if you want to back up to that door, but not everybody's comfortable backing. So I'm in the process, the board and I met again last night, and we're in the process of changing that just a little bit so that you can just drive up to the side. But I haven't got it quite changed yet, but I'm working on it. I got an idea.
All right, sounds good.
I got to go to the city and make sure they agree.
And then you can move forward.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to head to commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll wrap up with Darren and talk a little bit more about what they've got going and plans for the future.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich, joined in the studio with Darren Brown from the Masters Hand Thrift Store here in Washington. And we've been learning about all the exciting things they've got going on in town and how people can get involved by shopping there, volunteering there, or donating items. We were talking about the 22,000 square feet of space they have and their store and their sorting area, but there was one area we didn't talk about. You said you have some construction going on, and do you want to tell us a little bit more about that? And it's not pickleball courts. So.
Yeah, it's not pickleball courts. It could have been, though. We could have, if I'd have known there was a need. But I didn't want to compete with YMCA.
There you go. Probably
anyway, we work side by side with them. Anyway, yeah, we have, so that on the, it'd be on the east end of the building. We have 10,000 square feet there that is, part of it's going to be used for the baling of the clothing. I do it in another location at this point in time over on 12th, and I will be moving the rest of that over there over time. And then the rest of it is turned into about, I'm going to say, probably 5,000 square feet of it is turned into a food pantry. So we operate a food pantry currently in the basement of the homeless shelter, the Lighthouse Center, and it helps hundreds of families over the year. And it is, but it's not handicap accessible. It's down in the basement. And so we want to be handicap accessible, and we want to be more easily accessible. And so we're taking that, and we're putting in, I have walk-in cooler and a walk-in freezer, and then we have some food storage space there, and then we also have the pantry being set up. And so I'm in the process of trying to get that developed, and there's a lot of money being spent to make it happen. And so there's DNR grants that are out for that right now that we're applying for, and there's just some things going on. But that's it. We know that there's food insecurity in our nation, and it's not. It's different than a lot of nations. In America, there's money here, but a lot of times we have taught people in our society to buy things on payment. And if you're not careful, you end up out buying your budget, and all of a sudden now you're short in a lot of ways. And so food insecurity sometimes becomes the area that people cut. And so we want to help with that, and so we try to make it helpful. And HACAP partners with us and provides food for us. And so we have a food pantry that's available. It's open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. by appointment. If they call the lighthouse number, they can make an appointment, and we can get people in to help them. I just want to see people helped, and sometimes I know decisions are made and they're tied to money and they need to be fed. And so if we can help them, we'll help them. And so that's what we try to do.
Yeah, that's great. What's your ETA on getting that up and going?
I would like to have that finished. I would like to have it finished in the next 6 months. We're waiting on the electrician right now as he gets his time to come in. And then we have some insulating to do. New Hope Mennonite Church has been awesome helping us. They've been working over there, and they've been doing a lot of the stuff that they can do. And so I would like to say 6 months we'll have that finished up. I want to do it before the snow flies and before things get cold.
Don't start talking about the snow flying. It's just stopped.
I know, but it's not. It just doesn't seem to take long, and all of a sudden you're around that corner, and here it is again. Well, I got to be careful. I don't put stuff on. I can be a procrastinator if I'm not careful.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of stuff going on, so I don't even know how you juggle it all. But yeah, time does fly. So I totally kind of attest to that too. So you mentioned at break something about some silent auctions that you guys have going on out at Master's Hand.
Yes.
Can you tell everyone about that?
Yeah. So this is just getting started. So watch for it in the showcase where you see the long showcase where you see some jewelry sometimes. All of our jewelry is really low priced. And I realize that we're using this 30 feet of showcase, and there's not a lot of money inside that showcase. And we've been working with eBay. We've been selling stuff on eBay, and it's just not working out the way that we had dreamed that it would work out. So we're going to remove that, and we're just going to offer it for silent auction in that showcase. You'll be able to register for a bidder number, and that'll so nobody's private information is in this book, and then that'll be kept. And then you'll just do a silent auction, and then every Monday those bids will be closed out every Monday morning, and we'll contact the people that won, and then new stuff will be put out Monday throughout the day to start on for the next week, and we'll just run those auctions through the week. So if you're a weekly visitor, it'll be great for you. If it's a daily visitor, then you can bid a little smaller amounts and work your way up.
There you go.
However that works.
And when is this going to start?
That's going to start this week. We're in the process they're working on it right now. We just made the decision last night to do it, and we're going to move forward with it starting this morning.
Cool. And maybe something to get people in the door a little bit more often.
Yeah, it comes. Look, you never know. I mean, a lot of that stuff that was on eBay, you didn't get to see unless you went on eBay and saw it. It was done in a back room, and we never had it out front. And there are some neat stuff. Yesterday I just got an accordion that's just really cool. You don't ever see old accordions, but you don't hear them, you don't see them much. Yeah. But I was trying to make it sound good. I can't make it sound good, but somebody might be an accordion player out there that can make it sound good.
So if people haven't been out to Master's Hand and they came into your store, what would they see? What, like clothing, houseware, decor, musical instruments?
Yes, a little bit of everything. So you come in that store, you come in the door first. The first thing you're going to see is clothes and lamps and pictures on the wall. That's just what you see, because we have probably the largest lamp selection in Southeast Iowa. I think I'm safe to say that. But anyway, we just the whole up top of it all the way around is lamps, because lamps is something that we get a lot of. Mm-hmm. And so it helps with the lighting and so on and so forth. But you just about anything. You just never know what you're going to find in there. We have a tool section and construction goods. You just never know what you're going to find in there. It's there. Furniture, lots of furniture, and the furniture turnover is rapid. All I have to do I try not to put it all on Facebook Marketplace, but if it starts getting crowded, all I do is start putting pictures on Facebook Marketplace, and it goes fast.
Yeah.
I want you to know that nothing in the Master's Hand thrift store is overpriced. And if you think it's overpriced, you come and talk to me and we'll work on it. I have come to understand that it's not about the amount that I get for an item. It's about the amount that square foot of floor space is getting me. And so I can sell multiple items faster for lower money and make more money on that square foot of ground than I can if I take one item and make it really expensive and wait for that to sell. And so prices, it all adds up, and we're here to support the community. And so I keep the prices as low as we can keep them, and still operate and cover everything and still get done what we need to get done. Yeah. And so you can always make me an offer. If you don't like a price tag out there, you make an offer.
Okay. Sounds good. That's my kind of, I like to barter when we go places, and my husband's like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. And my kids think it's embarrassing. But anyways, and remind me again what your hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Is that what you said?
Yes. Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, or Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6.
Yes. Very good.
Monday through Saturday.
All right. Well, and I apologize. You aren't making me cry, but I had a tickle in my throat, and then my eyes were watering, and I was trying to get a drink and get rid of that. So anyways, thanks again for joining us, Darren. I appreciate you sharing with the community all the good things that are happening.
My pleasure, and I thank the community for the support that they give us. We couldn't do it without them. The community has been phenomenal in this operation. It's just been good, top notch.
Good, love to hear that. So, and now you get to play the birthday game. Did Nick tell you about this?
No, he didn't.
Oh man,
tell me
this is going to be exciting. But
game.
first, Nick is going to share with us today's National Day.
Well, it's very fitting. It's National Big Wind Day. It marks the anniversary of, at the time, the fastest wind speeds ever recorded on top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire, I believe. It was like 263 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Something insane. So it was back in the 30s.
National Big Wind Day. I was getting ready this morning, and I was like, maybe Nick's going to text me and say it's National Favorite T-shirt Day or something, and I can wear my favorite T-shirt. But
right.
you always let me down.
Yeah, if it ever is something, well, I think we missed sweatpants and sweatshirt day.
Yeah.
Those were back in February. So if there's ever something like Cozy Clothes Day, I'll let you know.
Okay, appreciate it. Okay. All right. So now the birthday game, and you want to let them know how it works?
I'll put a celebrity whose birthday is today on the screen. You get to guess their age. If you're within 3 years, you get a point. If you get it right on, you get 2 points. And if you win, there's a very fancy trophy.
Oh my!
That you could probably sell.
Oh my!
You could probably sell for
probably
a penny, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe a quarter.
Maybe a quarter. I think it was probably didn't cost us a quarter to buy it. So our first celebrity is Saoirse Ronan.
I don't know
from
her.
the movie Lady Bird. Like Little Women.
It's not ringing a bell. I'll go 39.
I don't know that I can give her that. I'm gonna say I gotta say 42. She's got quite a bit of makeup on.
She's 29.
Oh, man.
We're in serious trouble.
All right. Well, hopefully she's not tuning in today.
Yeah.
We might have just offended her.
Whoa, yeah, we could be in trouble.
Oh, that's your bird.
Yep.
Oh my.
Next up is Brendan Urie. Panic at the Disco is his former band. I think he broke it up and now is trying to go solo. Not a big fan, but it's his birthday.
All right. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah. Really have no idea about him either. 36.
I was going to say 37.
He is 36. So
oh, wow. Good job.
Covers from...
We all get lucky once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Next up is... it's a little too zoomed in. Is Ed O'Neill from Modern Family, also Married with Children.
Okay.
Is that
right? Yeah, that's Al Bundy.
Wow. I will go 73.
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna actually say 77.
He is 77. So we
Look at you.
Well, it's my era, maybe.
Pulls out to a 3-2 lead going into the last celebrity, which is David Letterman.
David Letterman's looking kind of old in that picture.
He's been around a while.
Yeah, the beard's a choice.
He has been around a while.
78.
I'm going to go 82.
We're going to end in a 3-3 tie. He is 76. So Diane, you get a point.
Good job. Good job.
It's always good to end a tie. Everybody wins.
I do have a question for you, Darren. Do
Yes.
you have any owls for sale out at Master's Hand? Any like owl decoys or plastic snakes? Because I currently have this bird situation at my house.
Right.
See this bird
I'll
over
play the
here?
video.
I see a bird right there on
Yep.
the rail.
And
Okay.
I put this giant teddy bear up to try to divert it.
And that's not helping.
And
it just flies in.
and then I put black construction paper also
Right.
on the window.
On the window.
That bird just continually flies
Into
into
the
the
window.
window. Since Saturday, this has been happening.
Since Saturday, that's got to be
Yeah.
annoying.
So if you don't have any owls
So
or snakes, I can buy.
You need to put a bigger bird out there on the rail
Yeah.
outside.
So I was going to go to Ace, unless you think you have something out there that I can come make you a deal on.
Boy, I don't know that I don't have the snake or the owl.
And I don't need a lamp.
Right. You could get some fireworks. That'll go over good in the community.
I think we might have some bottle rockets, but I might not make any
When
friends.
I was a kid, we lived next to an orchard. And in this time of year, in the bloom season, and then when the fruit would come on, there would be a big boom every couple of hours, just a big boom. And that was what that was for, was to scare the birds out of the orchard.
Oh, interesting.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, whenever I go over to the window and I scream and wave my hands, it goes away. But then I go back to my desk and then it's just like, I have a hard time concentrating.
There was an owl, a plastic owl, hanging underneath the overhang on 12th Avenue when we had that store there.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't keep the pigeons out of there. It wasn't doing its job. It was hanging there, but it wasn't doing its job.
All right. Well, I'll keep everybody updated on what I can do to stop this bird without, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go and start hitting pickleballs at it or something.
Call the police. I've seen them get calls on all kinds of things.Maybe
I can make the police report.
Well, get a scarecrow. That's a classic.
I
do have things for a scarecrow.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, maybe I'll try that. I don't know. I'll keep everybody updated, but right now it's super annoying. So, I do have a couple birthday shout outs. Today is Jessica Gallagher's birthday and Adam Kaufman. Happy birthday, Jessica and Adam. And then tomorrow is my son Dalton's 11th birthday. And then our good friend Bob Shellman is also his birthday. So tomorrow, the 13th. My son was born on a Friday the 13th. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Anything special for the big 1-1? Double hockey sticks.
No, nothing too special. He wants to take donuts to school as his treat. So we're going to go up
Nice.
to the Golden Delight Bakery in Kelowna before school and get the world's best donuts. Have you ever had them?
I have not, but he better relish that because I was a summer baby, so I never got to bring snacks for everyone.
I was also a summer baby. Sore subject, but all right.
And I better say this because I might get in trouble just in case she Googles me. But today is my daughter's birthday that lives out in Oregon. And
perfect.
I believe she's, I don't know, I don't even know how old she is exactly. I'd have to do the math, honey. But anyway, today is her birthday. And so just in case you Google this and ever find this online, you need to know that I love you and happy birthday, all right?
All right, very good. I was going to ask if you had any birthday shout outs, but when everyone's always caught off guard and they're like, no. So, all right. Well, thanks again for joining us. And we hope you guys have a great Wednesday. And thanks for joining us on Washington Live.